Hey guys, this is Sean and welcome back to our channel. It's really good to see you guys. We've taken a little bit of a hiatus because we've had a second child now, so we're quite happy about that. And yeah, we're excited to get back into it, to get back into helping you guys online on these videos that we post and in our therapy sessions as well, if you guys decide to join us on a transformative journey. The topic today I'm going to discuss is what to do when you feel triggered by your partner's comments. So you may have had a discussion that turned into an argument, differences of opinion, a lot of misunderstanding, and it may have turned a little bit argumentative, maybe even volatile. It feels like the relationship's on tenterhooks. It feels like things are very difficult, and it feels like you can't get through it. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling frustrated, you feel like you can't communicate, and you find yourself in one of those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day standoffs, and you guys will find yourselves arguing about all sorts of other things which are unrelated. But what really is happening when you find that your partner's made comments or they've said something when you've been trying to express your feelings, when you've been trying to discuss something or raise an issue with them, a lot of the time feelings and thoughts and emotions get in the way of that. So if someone raises an issue with you, or you raise an issue with someone, very, very quickly people start to process what you're saying or what they're saying to you. You start to process these things in your own eyes, in your own viewpoints, with your own beliefs and values and thought process. And what that tends to do is override what the other person is saying to you. So if you said to your partner, look, I don't like the comments that you made yesterday. We were discussing something and you talked about your ex-partners, and in fact you discussed some of your sexual encounters, some of them being good, some of them being bad. That bothered me. So people that experience RJ will really get triggered by something like this. And it will cause an issue, right? You get triggered and then you get very, very angry. You might shut down, you might start to lash out at them. You feel like they're either bragging to you or lashing out or comparing you to their exes, to their ex experiences. And it's going to make you feel less than, it's going to make you feel not good enough. It's going to bother you, right? So how are you going to react? And what happens is a lot of people, one of my clients was discussing this very topic. A lot of people will lash out and say, why do you have to discuss this? You know that I struggle with this, or I have struggled with it, and you go and do that, okay? And then the partner gets defensive and starts to say, well, that's reality, that's what happened in the past, and you know, I'm here and I'm always going to be here, I don't care about that stuff. And then there's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of attacking and defense. But what's getting lost there is really the feelings behind that, right? The feelings that are going on in the background. It's important to try to realize how you're communicating with your partner. If your partner's suffering from RJ or relationship OCD, relationship anxiety, be aware of what you say and how you say it so that you can say it in a more considerate and caring way, right? If you're on the receiving end of comments that have made you feel triggered, you also need to give your partner the benefit of the doubt. They forget. They don't always put your issues into consideration when they say things. And that doesn't mean they don't care about you. It doesn't mean they don't love you. But there's a way to get out of it, right? If you were to say, look, because you said that and because you did that, it means you don't love me, you don't care about me. You should know better and you shouldn't have done that because you know what I suffer with. What it's going to cause is a defensive reaction from your partner. They're going to feel bad about it. They're going to feel like they made a mistake, and they're not going to very easily come back from that because the way you raised the issue with them felt like a bit more of a you should know better, a bit more of a judgment. And it's very difficult. It's very, very subtle, but it's very difficult for that person to get out of it and be there for you and be admitting of the wrong that they've done, right? Yes, they should know better, and yes, they shouldn't make those sorts of comments, but it's a learning process. And like I said, people forget, people try, people do well sometimes, but other times they forget and they mess up and they make mistakes. It's okay for that to happen. And it's okay for you to communicate in a different way. So what you could say in that sort of situation is, look, what you said just now about your ex-partners, ex-relationships and whatever, how some experiences were good and some were bad, triggered me. I really felt triggered. And though you may not have intended it, I'm not saying you intended to say it, you know that I suffered with retroactive jealousy or relationship anxiety. You know that it's caused issues in the past. And when I think about it that way, it just causes me more frustration and anger that you didn't put that into consideration before you said what you said. Now I'm in a place where I feel triggered and I feel like I'm shutting down and I'm really, really struggling. It's causing me to feel like I'm not good enough in this relationship, and in fact, you're focused on things in the past where I don't want to be. I don't want to be there. So could we in future try and avoid discussing things like that? And that would really help me. Notice you're talking about your feelings, and notice you're putting someone next to you rather than against you, where you tell them they should know better. There's a way and a manner of speaking that even if someone has done something wrong, you can explain it to them so they understand it, they don't go defensive, and they're able to then communicate with you without feeling blamed, shamed, judged, or anything like that. And they can be there for you because you've spoken about your feelings, you've said what you need in the future, and you've given them the benefit of the doubt that they could have forgotten, and you realize that they maybe didn't mean it intentionally. So that's how you would handle it when you feel triggered. Because if you do the shaming and blaming, if you feel judgmental, you feel very, very angry because you've got triggered, they're going to go into defense. You're then going to go into defense. You both might shut down, and you'll have that 5-day standoff. So be aware of that, guys. Be aware of how you communicate. If you say things like, you make me feel, and you did this and you did that, you're not owning your own feelings. You're not owning your own thoughts. You're not owning your own actions. And it's better to say, because of the things that you said or what I heard you say, you may have said it wrong, you may not have intended it that way, but because of what I heard, it's caused me to feel this way. So I feel this way and I'm struggling in this way. Can we do this in the future and just be a bit more mindful of it? Is that okay? And then you will put each other on the same page. It's almost like you're holding hands together and moving in a direction where you're not going to feel triggered anymore. They're not going to be defensive. You're not going to be defensive. They're not going to be attacking. You're not going to attack back. And you're going to be able to get through it a lot quicker. So guys, in a nutshell, that is it. That is the best way to handle it. Talk about your feelings. Talk about what's actually happening behind the scenes. Try and ask them what they were thinking, what they were feeling. How did it come about? But without shaming and blaming each other. It's possible to do it. You can get through it. You can overcome any difficult communication, anything when you feel triggered. You can overcome it and move to a place where you understand each other a lot better, even in difficult, emotional, explosive situations and arguments. And even if you had a 5-day standoff, you can still get through it. You guys have to be more resolved and believe and talk to each other that, look, no matter what happens, we're going to discuss things. We're going to try and break down and unpack the arguments that we've had and find the feelings behind it. Because if you understand the feelings that cause the motivation to act in a certain way, whether it's negative or positive or whatever, you will then understand each other a lot better and you'll be on the same page more often, which is really, really the aim. Guys, I hope this helped you. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We're looking forward to seeing you in more videos. Leave some comments below and we'll be happy to answer them, and give us some more ideas on videos and topics that you want to hear and discuss. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one.